My name's Gabby. I'm a single parent. I've got a biological child. He's 13, and then I've got one permanent foster child in my care. The reason I wanted to become a carer is because I didn't have a reason not to. I feel like my whole sole purpose in life, like the reason I was given birth to, was to try and make a difference and try and make people's lives better. It's not about me in the end. Like, it has always been kind of the way that I've had discussions with people. It's been about how can I make their life better. And this was just, I don't know, growing up I didn't really know many people that did foster care. I knew of like one family that did foster care. I'm a child of like 6 children to my mum, 8 children to my dad, so I've always had quite a big family. So we never did foster care. But it was just, I don't know, I couldn't think of a reason not to, so just bloody did it. It's been actually way better than I expected. This placement, like, there's just, I don't know, like, she has, like, you know, a piece of my heart and a piece of my soul. And even like with my son, they act like siblings. They just have that, you know, they have a connection that is far greater than I could have anticipated. You know, I know that that's not always going to be the case, you know, moving forward. I think I'm incredibly blessed with the current, you know, placement that I have. And, you know, our plan is for her to stay with us long term, and for her to make the decision when she wants to, you know, whether she's transitioning out of care or decides to move out and to live independently. It's actually blown my mind. Like, when I was making the decision to become a foster carer, it's like, oh, I hope this isn't going to then impact my son in a negative way. Like, you know, I always had that kind of niggling in the back of my head. Oh, even when I was going through the interviews, it was like, oh, is this the right, you know, decision for my family? And then it was just like, why not? Just do it. He's, you know, he's going to experience being with, you know, other people out in the community, at school, in his sporting world, that could impact him in a negative way. So I think that barrier that I was kind of like, gave me the trepidation about whether I did or didn't, kind of, it was just like, just do it. Because if I don't do it, like, who else is going to do it? You know, you've got to start somewhere, and maybe that means that maybe one of my friends seeing that I'm doing, they might also decide to do it as well. You know, so there's so many kids out there that just need a safe space. I don't know. I don't really know what I was expecting from him. Like, he's always been a little bit different, a little bit quirky, but I don't know, for him to just, like, he advocates for her, and I think, like, she's older than him and he advocates for her. Like, even not when she's around, even like, if someone says something, he'll advocate her position within our family. He'll say, no, she's my sister, you know, because he doesn't want everyone to know that she's a child that's in foster care, because she doesn't want that. So he advocates her place within our family, and you know, that's all I could ever like, you know, want from my child, is for him to be, you know, proud of the situation that he's in, and also able to advocate for those that maybe sometimes can't advocate for themselves or feel like their voice isn't heard. Oh, they're great. They're, like anything, like nothing is too hard. It's exactly the kind of support that you would want from an agency, but it also goes above and beyond, because sometimes they'll just call up and just check in, which is like amazing. And I don't know, the women and the men that I've been speaking to, they're just great. Love them. I think they're incredible. Meeting some really great kids, and I guess experiencing little quirks that maybe I haven't experienced as a parent before. I don't know, like, one of the boys I looked after, he loved this song, Diggy Diggy Hole, and I'd never heard it before, and he's this sweet, sweet little boy, and it's like this like metal kind of rock folk song, and it was just like on repeat, and I'm like, this kid's mad. I love him. Like, it was just like, you know, and you don't experience that unless you meet, you know, kids that experience things different and, you know, enjoy different things, and, you know, he really opened my mind, and it was a really cool song, and yeah, I don't know, he's a cool kid. Saying goodbye is, I guess, like, especially if you've made a connection, like, even though generally when you're saying goodbye, it's, you hope it's for a positive reason, but sometimes it, like in my instance, it was just, you know, I was just doing respite, so this child was just going back to the regular care placement, and it was just like, I don't know if I'm ever going to see them again, and you kind of feel a little bit like, especially if they've made an impact. Yes, things will change, and maybe the way that you do your life will change, but sometimes I think it's greater than us. It's greater than who we are, and the impact that we have, even if it's just tiny. Like, it may not mean much to us, but it could mean the world to a little person. I just think, why not? Why wouldn't you? You know, if you've got the space in your house and you've got the space in your heart, just do it. Have a crack. You can always say no. So with my current placement, she loves hanging out on the couch and watching movies with us, and bloody, that's what I love doing, isn't it? But previous placements, they've been younger kids, and, you know, they invoke me to get out of the house and to go outside my comfort zone with some things, but also experiencing new things and trying new things and learning new things and seeing the world from a different perspective. I wouldn't change that. I think it's phenomenal being able to experience, you know, some of these things. And like I said about the song before, I wouldn't have heard this song unless I had experienced, like, you know, heard it from this little man. Like, it was, I don't know, I just think it's like invaluable, some of the lessons I've learnt from it.